Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. It's been exactly 6 months since I first used the Ordinary Firming Serum. This was touted as being an amazing addition to a skincare routine for firming, lifting, energizing the skin, and shrinking that puffiness and inflammation that I think we all experience, especially when we first wake up. Formed with 3% caffeine alongside some other tightening and hydrating ingredients, this looked so promising. And at £8, it was honestly a bargain. But did it ever actually live up to any of the hype? Well, 6 months later, I want to share with you an update on my experiences with this product, how I've been using it in my skincare routine, and whether actually this is an unsung hero that we should all be incorporating, or just another gimmicky product that's overhyped and guaranteed to underdeliver. Sit back, relax, let's talk all things The Ordinary Firming Serum. Now, in today's video, I'm going to share with you my hot take, but I want to hear yours too. Have you tried the Ordinary Caffeine 3% Serum? And if you have, what have your experiences been? Share them down in the comments section below, because here on Mad About Skin, I feel like we're all one big family, and we can learn so much from each other when it comes to how products work and what's actually worth a place in our skincare routine. I know I've seen a lot of sponsored content surrounding this product, especially around its launch, but just know that, as always, here on Mad About Skin, you will never see a sponsorship, an ad, or a paid partnership, because I pride myself on my independence, speaking from the heart and never the wallet. So if you want true, unbiased skincare reviews and opinions, you're in the right place. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love for you guys to follow along and join the Mad About Skin family. And if you could reach down and give the video a big thumbs up and a like. The more likes the video gets, the more widely YouTube will distribute it on its platform. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you to each and every one of you. Now, without further ado, let's cut that waffle and delve straight on in. So this is a product that when it launched, I think it came with multiple different angles of marketing. I've heard some people refer to it as an energizing serum. I've heard others say that it's going to help reduce dark circles, puffiness, and inflammation. And quite a few people have latched onto firming and lifting benefits of caffeine and refer to it as a firming serum. Now, whilst it's marketed from multiple different angles, I think it's one of those products that, if used correctly, had promise to do quite a lot. Caffeine is a fantastic skincare ingredient, particularly when it comes to increasing lymphatic drainage, boosting circulation, and having a really great beneficial impact on the penetration rate of other ingredients. Caffeine can help turbocharge your skincare routine. If you use it early on in your routine, the rest of your products and ingredients are just going to absorb better and ultimately give you better results. Caffeine is a bit of an unsung hero, which is why I was super excited to try this out. But whenever I previously reached for a caffeine solution, serum, or cream, they've always dried my skin out, caused irritation, and I've just never really got on with it. So I went in as a skeptic, and honestly, 6 months later, I'm still using it. It's still going strong. I have multiple bottles that I've got through, multiple bottles that I've got stockpiled, ready to move on to next. So I think the proof is in the pudding. I'm still using it, and I've been really impressed with this product. But there are some things that I think we need to know, we need to talk about in order to maximize results and just guarantee you get the best possible outcomes. So in here, you've got a 3% caffeine concentration. This is on the lower side of what you'll normally see with caffeinated skincare. The Ordinary do another 5% caffeine serum, which I'm going to come on to as a comparison later in the video. You also see brands formulating with 5, 7, 10% caffeine. I think there's a little bit of a case of brands wanting to go for the highest possible concentration, believing that that's going to deliver the best results. And in my experience, it genuinely hasn't. I think 3% is a really nice dose of caffeine that's going to give you all firming, the lifting, the energizing, and the minimizing of puffiness and inflammation without some of the associated side effects. You've also got a 1% Escin. Now, this is a relative new ingredient, but Escin is really great, promising long-term anti-aging. So the caffeine is going to give immediate results, those short-term wins. The Escin is going to give you more long-term anti-aging, which I think is a nice touch. And I like to see that the Ordinary have moved away from single active formulations and are now using multiple different actives in each of their products, because I think that way we get more bang for our buck, and it's just going to help us deliver a more comprehensive result from each product. So that I really liked. It's about £8. Here in the UK, £8 I think is an absolute bargain for a serum. Very few brands deliver skincare at that price, and when it's quite a good quality formulation, honestly, I expected them to be charging double. Some of the recent The Ordinary launches have come in at like £16, £17. I thought this was going to be one of them. The fact that they've actually done it for £8, Well, that was music to my ears, and I think it's really nice to see almost The Ordinary return to some of their more affordable roots. And this is a product that I think is genuinely one of their best and at one of their cheapest price points, which is ding, 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 holy grail territory in my book. So, what did it actually do for me? So, we're 6 months in, and I'm here to say that it's definitely helped like firm things along the jawline in a temporary way. I think that's really key. So, caffeine works in a temporary way. It has a rough 20 to 24-hour mechanism of action. So, when you're using it, it's going to deliver you in that moment, but it doesn't have any proven long-term benefits. So, that's definitely something to bear in mind. But if you use this, particularly I found around the jawline, this can actually help just lift and tighten things because it's reducing some of that puffiness and inflammation, reducing some of that water retention, and just getting everything snatched. And I, for one, think that's a really great benefit, particularly for a product that's so well priced. The Escin, I definitely think, is doing the heavy lifting in the long term. And 6 months in, I have definitely started to see some more longer term firming and lifting results from using this. And I think it's the Escin rather than the caffeine that's actually delivering that. You can use this all over, and that's what I did. I think it works really well under the eye in terms of delivering a reduction in dark circles, puffiness, and inflammation. Again, that's that caffeine giving that instant quick win, but I use it all over the face. I just feel that whilst I might wake up a little bit puffy, after using this, just 5 minutes later, my skin is definitely a little bit more a bit more structured. I seem to have returned some of the contours and the features return in a way that I've never really been able to get from other skincare. So for me, that's a win. In the long term, I think if people set their expectations right and know that this isn't like a facelift in a bottle or a guaranteed like firming and lifting treatment, but it's something that's going to help, restore some of the contours of the face, help with puffiness and inflammation, and just give a gentle lifting and firming result in the long term. I think all of that is well worth it for the £8 that they're charging. For this, for me, is 10 out of 10. No notes. Honestly, I love it. And what capped it all off is the beautiful texture. So the other caffeine serum that the Ordinary have is quite greasy. It doesn't layer well under makeup. It's impossible to use. Look at this. It's a beautiful emulsion that disappears without a trace. My top tip though, keep it in the fridge for that ultimate cooling. If you keep it in the fridge, it'll be even cooler on application, so it'll kind of double down on that benefits that you see from that caffeine, just reducing inflammation and snatching everything on application. Cold is the way forward. So yeah, like I say, always keep yours in the fridge. Other than that, the other tip that I want to share with you is to make sure that you use it early on in your routine. So cleanse the skin, apply this. That's because caffeine is actually really great at aiding the penetration rate of the other products you put on afterwards. It helps increase circulation. It'll help with lymphatic drainage. It just kind of like, well, I don't like the term wakes up the skin because that's not how it's working, but it's a great way of explaining how it actually delivers just that boost to makes the skin more receptive to the rest of the skincare that you're going to put on. So if you're somebody that wants to get a little extra bang for your buck from the rest of the serums that follow, adding caffeine first is one of the best ways of doing that. So yeah, that's the other top tip I would share with you. Early on in your routine, straight after cleansing, I think is where you're going to get the maximum results from this. And you can use it with everything. Caffeine is the best friend to all your other actives, your peptides, your vitamin C's, your retinoids. You can use it alongside this twice a day, every day. And I think you'll definitely notice a difference. For me, around the jawline is where I got the very best results, and also under the eye, where it definitely reduces any dark circles, any of that purplish bluish hue that we can get under the eye. This has been a real treat to help eradicate some of that and just as a result boost my skin confidence. As I said, is it going to change the world? No. But at £8, this is a product that's definitely going to feature in my skincare routine for the long term. And as you can see, 6 months in, still going strong, still using it. And I would definitely recommend people give it a go. If you're wondering which of the Ordinary serums to go for, you've got the caffeine 3% and you've also got the caffeine 5% here. I personally would recommend the 3% because whilst the caffeine 5% sounds like it's more potent, it's missing the Escin, which I think is giving a lot of the long-term anti-aging benefits. And also 5% is just a little bit too strong for a lot of people. It can lead to dryness, sensitivity. It can disrupt the barrier function of the skin. I think 3% is a much more accessible strength of caffeine. The 5% was always too strong for me, and I know a lot of other people feel the same. This is also oil-based, meaning it's greasy, it doesn't layer well with other products. The rich emulsion with this is honestly streets ahead when it comes to the formula. So yeah, 2 caffeine-based products from The Ordinary. I would choose the 3% every single time, which just goes to show higher percentage, doesn't always mean higher performance. For me, this delivered far much than the 5% ever managed to. And yeah, there is my 6-month update. If you like content like this, where we go beyond just an initial thoughts and opinions, first impressions, and we do like a deep dive 6 months later, having used a product in the long term, make sure to let me know by reaching down into the comment section below and sharing with me that you'd like to see more content like this. You can also give the video a like, which is a great indicator and honestly means the world to me. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for watching another 6 months. And hopefully you found this useful as a little bit of an update. Let me know how you use the Ordinary Caffeine 3% serum. Let me know how it's worked for you down in the comments, and wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.